Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Johnny, and today's video we're going to be reviewing the BenQ monitor light screen bar. So full disclosure, BenQ did send me this monitor light, but it is not a paid sponsorship. So everything in this video will be my personal opinion for this product. To start off this video, I went ahead and unboxed the screen bar from BenQ, and inside of the box it contains a USB-C, believe it or not, to power this device. However, at the end you get the regular USB cable cord that goes into your monitor, or you can connect it to your computer. So if your monitor has a USB, that will be a major advantage, so you don't have to have cables everywhere. It also brings in the mount that you put on top of your monitor, and believe it or not, it's actually pretty heavy. I didn't think this thing was going to be like really heavy, but it's pretty heavy. It kind of scared me at first, but it's really not a big issue. Even though it's heavy, it just allows your monitor light to stay more stable onto your monitor so it won't fall off. I was a little bit scared, so be careful when you actually put it on your monitor. Don't make sure it falls on the screen because it might break it, but it's not a major deal. If you're following every instruction right, you should be able to mount this on top of your monitor. It's kind of hard at first to mount it, but it gets really easy. You gotta sort of slide it in an area where the USB sticks out through the back, so make sure to do that when you slide it in and you slide it out. The first thing that scared me about the screen bar monitor light was, is it going to fit in my monitor? Because I have a curved Samsung 49-inch ultra wide monitor. Believe it or not, yes, it does fit on curved monitors, so you don't have to worry if your monitor is actually curved or not. So if you have a flat one, it fits on there as well, and it fits perfectly as well on the ultra wide monitors that are curved. So it doesn't matter. It could even be a 49-inch monitor that you own. It still indeed fits on your monitor screen. So that's a good plus for me, because that was something that I was worrying about when I first got this screen bar monitor light. So the first thing that I was going to test out with this monitor light was using it during the day. I know that may sound a little bit ridiculous, that hey, why are you using it during the day? Well, personally, I think it has a lot of benefit if you use it during the day for certain situations. For example, my room does not get a lot of light inside of the room, so during the day it kind of looks dim, everything on my keyboard. I can still see it, but it's kind of annoying to actually look at my keyboard, and it looks kind of darkish. It just looks really dim. And also, if I'm doing a project like disassembling something with my screwdrivers or something small, because I usually do small repairs on my desk, like replacing a screen on my Nintendo DS or Game Boy Advance or anything stuff like that, I can see definitely the use of this by having it by your desk. I know a lot of people like to work on their desk when they disassemble stuff or modify stuff or do small little projects on that, and I am one of those, and I find that a really good usage for it during the day. Now, if you're somebody that it disturbs you to see everything, yes, it does make a difference. It lets you see everything on your desk more clearly during the day. I won't say that it's probably the most practical use for this machine or monitor light. Obviously it would be better using it at night, which I am going to test out in this video. But first of all, let's look at some of the features that this light has. So it does have a dimmable brightness. You can go to 900 lux, I believe, which is pretty high, and the standard I think on it when you turn it on is like 300 lux, and you can get like 500 lux of coverage for 60x 30 centimeters and 300 lux as well. It has 8 colors options, believe it or not. Well, not 8 colors, but it has 3 color options. Basically, it's like, you know, the daylight, which is kind of yellowish, and as well as the code one, which is kind of like whitish. And it has a third option as well. And it also has 9 levels of brightness. So it has 9 levels of brightness, I believe, and 15 levels with auto dim. So the auto dim basically just dims it where it seems like it needs to have more light, and it'll dim it to its own preference. But if you press the brightness, you can also dim it or make it brighter, and it's pretty good at night. So at night you will definitely notice a more difference rather than the day when you're actually dimming it with it. So yeah, it definitely does dim pretty well, and it covers a really good area where you work on your desk. Now personally, on my desk, the one that I'm using upstairs with my main computer setup, is probably a smaller desk, and I'm not even gonna lie, it's probably not the best use for it because my desk is small. But it's a quite different story when we head down to my basement on my other computer setup, which you'll see in this video. The next thing I did, I went ahead and went into my basement because it was a dark environment where you can't really see any light come in, and this was a perfect situation to test it on because in the dark it's going to show what it can do and what it's capable of. So I went ahead and connected the monitor light to my computer in the basement, and I have to say immediately you see a big difference on the desk. It just lights up everything well on the desk. Like you can see it, even if you have a RGB keyboard, this actually makes it better for you to look at your keyboards. Now I have to say that this is definitely useful at night as well, even on my upstairs room or at the bottoms and the basement, and both rooms in a dark environment. This will be very useful, like I mentioned before, for anyone that likes to do disassembly on small projects or repair consoles or repair handhelds. This light is really useful because you're gonna be there and you're gonna have enough light to see every screw that's on your desk. And I like that because I find that's one of the good uses of this as well. Now if you're a person that doesn't have a keyboard that has RGB, it also works for you as well because you can see every keyboard on your keyboard and you won't have an issue with seeing everything on there. Now, one of the things that I was concerned about was that maybe the light was going to reflect a little too much on the monitor, but I have to say that I did not actually see any reflection on my screen in the monitor. Even when I turned up the brightness, there was literally no reflection on the monitor. I personally do not know how they did this because it just doesn't reflect. I was looking at the LED strip on the bottom and I looked like it had like some kind of protective coating that, yeah, the LEDs are pretty bright, but at the same time, like, that protective coating maybe is what blocks the reflection on the screen. So I did not have an issue with any reflections as I thought I was going to have. But no, even though it's facing toward down onto my keyboard and it should technically hit the monitor, but it really doesn't bother you. It doesn't strain your reflection on the screen. It just doesn't bother the screen at all. So I gotta say that that's pretty cool because I thought it was going to do that, but it did not. So yeah, no reflection even in the day or in the night. The next thing that we're going to be talking about are some of the cons on the monitor light. They're not really big major cons, but it's worth a mention in this video because there's some stuff that could definitely improve this product. One of the things that I wish it did have was a dimmer, where you could have a dimmer on your desk and place it onto your desk, and you'll be able to dim it with the controls on your desk without having to reach up on top of your monitor and keep switching it through there. Now, it's not really hard to switch it or dim or change the color of the light on top of your monitor because it's not a big deal, but I can definitely see some people wanting to do it with a switch on their desk simply because it's more easier, and you know, some people keep their monitors like really far away from their desk, so they may want to do that. But it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal breaker. I believe one of their higher end models actually brings a dimmer, so that's probably why it doesn't bring it in this one. Either way, once you set it up with the light that you like to use, if you like to use like the daylight or the cold white color that looks more brighter, then you can choose that option. And like I said, it has the auto dim feature that also dims it for you auto, so it doesn't do any eye strain. The next thing that I wanted to see more for it was It does indeed fit my webcam, but sometimes it's kind of shaky on the top of it. You can put your webcam on top of it. It's not a major big deal, but I wanted to see a feature more for gamers, kind of like a ring light that you put behind your webcam and it improves your lighting for your webcam while you're streaming. I think that would have been such a really awesome feature if they would have put a lighting for your camera. So if it would allow you to move it around and light your webcam for your stream. Now I tried it unconventional ways, like by taking off the mount and just leaving it next to my webcam, and you know, it really does do a lot of good lighting for a webcam. However, it does bother your eyes more because of the LED strips is different than a regular ring light. Now I understand people are gonna say, well, why don't you just get a ring light? Well, why not just add it into the monitor light? It would be a pretty cool feature. Maybe in the future we get something like that. But definitely that's probably the only other con that I have with it. It would have been really cool if they added maybe even some LEDs that are not even that strong on the top of it, like in the front of it, for webcam people who want to stream. That would have been a pretty cool idea. I don't know, maybe BenQ adds this idea in the future, but then again, it's just a screen bar for reading and doing sort of stuff in your desk, like activities on your desk. But yeah, that would have been really cool if they could have added it, because I even did a comparison videos where I went ahead and tested it out to see how it would look even with just the desk. But it really doesn't do any improvement on your lighting in terms of a webcam. It just doesn't improve anything unless you're facing the light bar directly to your face. When you do that, yes, the webcam does look better on it, but it disturbs your eyes, and it's just not the use for it. That's the problem. It's not the use for it. The product is not made for that. It's made for usage on your computer desk, so to read a book, maybe write something, or disassemble something on your desk. That's what I see the usage for this. So yeah, that's pretty much all my cons though. Coming to a conclusion in this video, do I recommend this product? I would have to say yes, I do indeed recommend this product. I can definitely see the usage of people who like to do productivity at night in their office or at home, where they need lights in their area on their desk and they're not going to want to turn on all the lights, and if they want to save energy as well, I definitely recommend it for anyone that's just trying to do productivity at night and doesn't want to keep on the lights. I know a lot of people who like to work in the dark, and you know, they just want that little light on their desk where it won't bother them from reading or writing, or maybe disassembling a device, like I mentioned, like a video game console, or repairing a device. It's just really useful in the night because you can see everything on your desk, so you don't get anything lost, and you can see what you're seeing at night. So I definitely recommend it for anybody who works in the office space who is trying to save probably energy as well, because I mean, your employees will be able to see everything on the desk. However, like I said, the only thing, like I previously mentioned, my con was that I wish it did have something for the webcam. But then again, this is not a product for webcams. So anyways, I think it's a pretty good overall product. You can actually get it for a discount right now. I think it's like discounted like $13 on Amazon. It's like 97.67 cents. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and buy this product. I will leave the link in the description if you are interested. So anyways, thanks guys for watching this video, and I hope you have a nice day.